oh, get on stream, you'll feel better, you'll sound better. And the problem is I don't know about you, right, Liam, and I'm going to be honest here, right? A good 80 to 90% of the time when I'm streaming, I'm putting on an act. Like, honestly, like, if you was here, like, and my wife knows this because she's here and views it, right? But if you was here, right, I could be sitting there, I'd be going, oh, ha, 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 laughing and joking and being all that and whatever else. And then literally I turn around and say, right, I'm going to raid somebody else now, blah, 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 blah. Thank you for joining me. And I mean everything I'm saying. I just want to point this out. I mean wholeheartedly everything I'm saying. But the second that camera turns off, my face just drops and it's like, oh, I had to end that because I feel terrible. And you feel like you're playing a character for your entire life because you just feel so crap all the time. Is that just me? Or do other people do it? I watch back my streams sometimes. I watch my YouTube because I always put all my stuff on YouTube, right? Because I'm just trying to get myself out there a bit. I know I'm never going to become famous. I know I'm never going to become rich off of it, and that's fine. But I'm the type of person that whenever I do anything, I'd like to do it properly and I'd like to see how far I could get in it. So I cut up my streams and I put them on YouTube and stuff. And then I do that. But I often sit back and I watch my streams and I listen to myself and it's like, well, it's no wonder that you've only got 3 or 4 or 5 likes on something because I'm listening to you and it's just bang, you know. I try to just be me, but I understand that depends on what game I'm playing and if people have been around. Yeah, there is that as well. Genuinely, there is that as well. You know, I find that I'm one of those people that just doesn't shut. Like I can literally talk for England, seriously, like, and I don't ever have my follow account on, so I can't see. And I've said this millions of times. I can't see who's in here, and the reason I do that is because I don't want the disappointment potentially of me sitting here and thinking, oh, no one's watching me, which means that I'm no good, which means I should just stop doing it. No, I don't want that. I sit here and I'm going to do my paint by numbers anyway. And I can say this hand on heart, I enjoy doing paint by numbers more when I'm sat here talking, even if that's just to myself. So, you know, that's what I do. And I will continue to do so. Because you never know, one day somebody else out there might have the same feeling as me. And then it might be that I've helped somebody in some way, and I'm good with that. Number watching made me quit for 9 months. Yeah, there you go. Oh, I know. Honestly, now, I don't know if Lord Creed's still in here. I don't. I'm not sure. But if he is in here still, he can tell you that I've never put my follow account on since I started. And if you was to ever watch back any of my older videos on YouTube or whatever else, you'd see that I'm constantly saying I don't have it on. Because what's the point? I'm also not gonna validate myself by what others think. I'm not putting myself out here on a platform, right, for everybody to just look at me and analyze me and whatever else. I do it because, like, my painting by numbers specifically all started out because I was doing paintings for my grandchildren. Because I was, you know, I'm 48 years of age. I've got a few health problems and whatever else, and you just never know when your time is your time. Not trying to make it be all down and whatever else, right? But I just figured what a nice thing it would be to do. And we're in our generation, we're in this really unique position where, you know, like you've got ancestry.co.uk or whatever the bloody place is, right? Where you can look up your family tree. How nice is it going to be for my later generations of families to come back and say, oh, granddad did that for you, or your great-great-granddad did that. And he's like, yeah, he did. Now, do you want to see? And boom, you don't have to take other people's opinions. You can actually hear me. You can actually see me. You can actually hear what kind of person I was. And I just thought that that's a gift that's just amazing. Oh, sorry, I just want to hear. Pegley will testify. I use stream as a release. Me too. It literally changed my life. Sometimes I say things I shouldn't. Yes, me too, completely. Usually politically orientated, but genuinely feel better afterwards. Yeah, I've been very lucky to have started my stream from within the cult, so they championed me from the start with amazing support. You're incredible. Love this stream. Oh wow, Liam, dude. Ah. Thank you. Thank you. So I don't take compliments very well, and that was a huge one. But yeah, and like I've kind of said all morning since I've been streaming, I've done nothing but pull Carl out for. I'm just so grateful that I found his channel. I'm so grateful that I do the raids. Random Spursy, hey, how you doing? Lovely to see you in here. I'm genuinely, I'm so glad that I found it. I'm so glad that I decided to do the random raids, because there are so many good people out there, but we always only ever seem to see the crap, you know, the scum, and like the good people, they never really seem to get a look in, and they're never really popular. And I don't understand. I don't understand how it works that way. But yeah, I can tell you now, I will just be shouting it from the rooftops for good, because good people need the recognition. Hey, the wife is here. Oh, lovely to meet you. Genuinely lovely to meet you. It's yeah, like I said, I'm still kind of overwhelmed what happened yesterday. Like I said, I've never heard my follower alert thing go off so many times in such a short space of time. It was to the point yesterday where I literally couldn't hear anything else than my follower alert. And I'm a Jeremy Clarkson fan, so I was playing Dinkum one day, and I figured out a thing on Dinkum, right? And I literally stole Jeremy Clarkson's line, which is the scope of my genius knows no bounds, and that's my follower alert. And because I like to try and keep all of my stuff on my stream. I like it to be a personal thing, you know. Like we cannot, and I don't judge people for not doing that. I know what I'm about to tell us. Yeah, Dinkum's great. My wife loves it. We've got Lindy in my Discord and stuff, and they all play it, and they're begging. They're not begging, but they're asking me to play through it again. And I've kind of got a thing that I'm doing at the moment, because I've got loads of games on Steam, but I never seem to get the time or have the inclination to complete them, and it's wrong. But yet I will still find like £4, £5, £6 to go and buy the next game that's on sale to add to the list, and never get around to doing them. So I decided that I'm going to start doing my games that I've already got. And I'm currently playing Batman Arkham Asylum, a 10-year-old game, and it's actually got more popularity than some of the new stuff I've got. So, you know, it's actually a win-win situation. But yeah, like my hydrate thing, for argument's sake. Ask randomly about Dinkum. Do you like Dinkum, Liam? But yeah, like my hydrate is me saying it, you know, and other people, they just put like random stuff on there, and it just feels less personal to me. But I don't judge people for not doing it. So don't, if anybody uses them, don't feel judged. I'm just going to, talking of hydrating, I'm actually going to have a drink now. That's one of the good parts and the bad parts about never shutting up. Why do I get the feeling that Liam doesn't like Dinkum? Like James, the developer, I spoke to him a couple of times, you know, on Discord and stuff. Such a nice guy. and he's made such a good game. He really has. And now I just see all of these new copies of his idea that he kind of put out first, and it's horrible, really, because that guy deserves the recognition. And yeah, I play a lot of indie games, to be honest with you, and because I can't afford to play the AAA titles. Most of the time when I play a AAA title is because my boys have bought it for me, or someone from my strings bought it for me. Like Lord Creed has been buying me game. Lindy, here, Lindy, random Spursy. You need to get to know Lindy, which is Pandemocium. I think I've said that right for once. She plays. I met her when I was playing. I believe it was Dinkum that I met her on, and another really good friend of mine. And she plays Dinkum all the time with my wife, actually. They play in the Discord together quite a lot, actually. But yeah, I love Dinkum. Dinkum was one of the games that actually started me off on streaming, to be perfectly honest with you. It's where I got the most amount of views. And well, actually, the very first game I streamed was Power Wash Simulator, and I played that every morning from my bed, because back then I was doing this all from my bedroom. And yeah, I was literally laying in bed. I had my phone camera on me. Actually, no, in the beginning, I never had a phone camera. No, see, I'm remembering the recent updates. So good. Mark needs to play Dinkum. Yeah, I was just saying that to everybody, but everybody wants me to play it. Yeah, back when I first started, I didn't have a camera because I'm overweight. I'm 40. I was 47 at the time, or 46, and I used to care a lot about what people would say or think about me. And then one day I just loved it. I hate the cloud saves. Love that lad. Used to forget my progress when I went from PC to the Steam Deck. Laugh out loud, made me rage. Do you know you can actually turn the cloud saves off and actually get it to save to your computer instead of the cloud, right? That is actually a thing you can do in there now. But yeah, I was in my bedroom. I had no camera, and then somebody turned around and said to me, because I couldn't afford to get a camera. Someone said to me, "Why don't you put up a thing on your stream, like for donations for a cam, so you could put it on?" And then I was like, no one's gonna do that. And lo and behold, Lindy and Lord Creed, the two that were in here, that are in here now. I don't know if Creed's still in here, but they literally donated and got me a webcam, and I bought it straight away. And as soon as it come on, I put it on. And I realised at that point, I don't care what people think of me. I don't care what faceless people think about me. You want to call me fat, you want to call me ugly, you want to call me this, you want to call me that. I don't care, because it's your opinion. And when it's a negative opinion, you're like what everybody's got. An arsehole. So it literally boosted my confidence, something fierce. Like, completely boosted it. More than you'd ever believe. And yeah, then I was doing streams from my bed, because I didn't have a computer at that point, and I couldn't really leave my bedroom because of the anxiety and stuff. And yeah, ever since then I've been getting there, and I've been fighting more and fighting more and fighting more, and it has been all due to streaming. And I have a select few people who pushed me to stream. A guy called Papa Bear, Cypherbug, one of my very best friends, Van Dojo, Jimmy, Craig, loads of people who helped me set up, Sensei, who helped me do the Discord and stuff. I can say I was there for the evolution of Mark. Would you say that I'm better now than I used to be, Lindy? I know you probably don't like half the games I do, but would you say I'm better than I was? Like, I know recently I've kind of gone downhill a bit, and I'm trying to work that out because I've been pretty ill. But I've tried my best. And it's funny, we've been talking about today about things that have like schedules and stuff, and how that puts extra pressure on you and what have you. And it's kind of nice to meet people that actually understand what I'm going through, because I try and understand what other people are going through, but it never feels like anybody really gets and understands what I'm going through, if that makes any sense. And like I said, I'm not trying to just make this all about me. I can't see that one for looking. Is that a bit up there? And then that's a 6. No, that's a 6 there. Right, okay. So we'll stop that. Yes, definitely better. Thank you. I appreciate that. There's no more endorsement than people that actually stay. And Lindy's almost in here, almost on a daily basis. And I'm also really lucky to say that she's actually a friend. We actually talk on Discord. And she, so much so that she even knows my wife now. And Lindy lives in America and I live in Wales in the UK. So streaming, this is why I get annoyed, like when big streamers and they turn around and say like followers are not friends. And I literally call bullshit on that. And I know there's a lot of people out there that do this as a business and they do this to make money, and that's fine. But don't make statements that blanket everybody, because it's not true. At least from my experience, it's not true. Because I feel sorry for the people that go out and they use these view bots or whatever they're called. The bots for streams. I can't remember what they're called now, but and then they get these like fictitious viewers. And it's like, I love the fact that I know everybody that comes into my lifelong friend. They really care. Well, that's how I met my wife. I met my current wife, and I say current because, we're always on the lookout. But I met my wife on a dating app, and I've been the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. My wife is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I can't sing her praises enough. She has been with me through thick and thin, through some of the darkest times in the world, and she promised me. She said to me when she messaged me on this dating app, she said that I would make sure that you smile every day. And I can honestly turn around and say, hand on heart, no matter how bad my days have been, even the days when I was constantly having panic attacks all day long, she's made me smile. Sometimes you have to upgrade to the new model. It's kind of like a car. Yes, Lord Creed is recently newly married and will understand the twos, whys and wherefores of divorce very soon, I feel. I met on Plenty of Fish too. My one was Girls Date for Free. Some of my best friends I've met online. Yeah, absolutely. Pitbull, who's usually in here. I can't get rid of the guy. Just such a lovely bloke. We talked on Discord a lot. He's brilliant. Offspring is another one. Don the Chonk, fantastic guy. There's so many of them. It's just too many to mention. And I just consider myself, I'm not a religious man, right? So, but I'm going to use this expression because I think it covers it the best, right? I just feel so blessed to have met so many good people, and it's all been on stream and all been because of streaming. And it's so good for people that are disabled, people that do suffer with anxiety, depression and stuff, and not being able to go out, because it actually gives you your life back. To some degree, it really does. I met randomly on Plenty of Fish. Some of my best friends. I met Random Carl and Random Carl Emerson on Twitter 15 years ago. Wow, that's fantastic. Random Carl, in no short terms, Random Carl, just a bit like what Don the Chonk did for me when I met him and I raided him one night. Me and him have turned out to be the best of friends. Like, I helped him build his computer. He's helped me with loads of stuff on mine and whatever else. Has literally just changed my life in a good way, like hugely. And I know that sounds like, dude, you raided somebody online and they were good to you, and a few people left a follow. If you're going to look at it that way, right? But to me, it was the fact of the act of kindness from everybody in here. And even now, look, I've got people in here now that would probably have not been here before because of one of the biggest problems I think happens on Twitch, which is exposure. You know, and I'm just so lucky and grateful to have met you just by doing something, you know, by raiding somebody. And like I said earlier on, you know, everything happens for a reason. My wife has always said this for years, and I've never really believed it. But the evidence is kind of stacking up that, yeah, it's probably true. Don't get me wrong, you know, I can be an arsehole. You know, I'm not this like, oh my God, he's so super nice, he's so super great. No, I could be a real twat sometimes, just like everybody can. But I also recognize that, you know, that recognition and thanks are free. You know, and certain actions from people can mean so much to someone else. So that's why I do it, because it's free. That and the fact that I'm cheap. Just ask my wife. Yeah, half a lager and a packet of crisps. Wee. That's why I watch a lot of small streamers, because they feel more real to me. That's because they are being real. You know, this is why I never raid anybody who has a lot of viewers already. I did it once, and I'm going to say who it was that I did it to, but I want to preface this to say this first of all. I watch and have watched a lot of Carnage. I think the guy is very nice. I do. I think he's a really nice guy, and I'm so like appreciative of his success because I believe he deserves it, right? So I did a stream and Carnage was on, and I just thought, you know what, I'll just, what's this? Legit, Carl and Emma are my best friends. It's been in shit on life's been in shit for them. But they, selfless people, I know. I mean, he's a massive freak, but we can have it all. Yeah, exactly. No, of course. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can see that. You know, I'm not completely oblivious. But no. What was I saying? I was saying, oh yeah, that was it. Carnage, right? So I decided to, and bearing in mind, I didn't know some of the intricacies and faux pas of Twitch streaming, right? So I raided him, and I think I only had like 5 or 6 people, because at that point it tells me who's on there at the time, because it says this many people are going with you. And I just thought, you know what, I'll raid him because I like him, and not that I can give him any kind of support, so I just raided him. And he never acknowledged the raid, right? And at the time I kind of took that a little bit personally, because it's like, well, hang on a minute, somebody's raided you, you can at least say something, right? And I don't hold it against him. And now, having streamed a bit more, right, I get it. Sometimes I get like 25, 30 people in my stream, and I can barely keep up with the bloody chat. That guy has 30,000 people in there. Yeah, it's a little bit more difficult to see somebody come in with a raid, right? So I hold no umbrage whatsoever to Carnage. And also, if you don't know him and you've never caught any of his streams, well worth watching. Genuine bloke, in my opinion. But I did notice in the comment section there were so many negative people because I'd raided him. And now I understand now why I got the negative comments, because people will try and raid big streamers because they think, oh, I'll just raid them and I'll just get all of these new people and whatever else. Well, back when I did it, I didn't know that that was even a thing. I just thought I was doing something nice. So, and I'm going to say this again, this is nothing against Co-Carnage whatsoever. But it just made me think to myself, like, why don't those big people do it? Why can't they do a random raid, to somebody that doesn't view a lot? Why can't they spread their wealth? Because I tell you this much, and I'm never going to be able to prove this point, because I don't believe I'm ever going to be big enough to be able to prove this point, right? But if I ever did get big, I swear to you, I would do that at the end of each stream. I just would. And then some would argue, but then you'd make everybody popular. Well, great. You make everybody popular, right? And then if the person you've raided doesn't deserve it, people are going to see that and they're just going to leave, right? It's called choice. Allow people to see what's out there, and if they don't like it, they won't come back. And I'm good with that. And I'm not going to sit here and recriminate myself because, like a follower has just decided to leave. I get it. I understand it. My content isn't for everybody. My conversations aren't for everybody. My personality isn't for everybody. And I'm good with that. I'm not trying to fit in with anybody else. All I'm trying to do is have a good time and share what I do. And that's why I hate the king system so much on Twitch and kind of on YouTube as well. Because your popularity is always gauged by how many viewers you've got. If you don't have the numbers, numbers attract numbers. And then also you've got the other side of the coin where you get streamers that just, and I've said this so many thousands of times now, but where you get those streamers that just think they're great and they don't have to put a camera on, they don't have to put any effort into their stream whatsoever. Oh, look, I'm just the best games player in the world. And then they're sitting there and they don't say nothing. They just put their game on and like, dude, why am I going to sit there and watch you play a game and say bugger all? I'd like to know if you're enjoying the game. I'd like to know whether or not you're actually alive. Because what's different from you than me just getting an AI to play the game for me? Which I'm guessing is probably a thing you can do these days, right? Yeah, I apologise for everybody else that's new that's coming in here. I do that a lot. I do go off on a tangent. I'm like a grumpy old man sometimes. Probably what hurts my general progression in the Twitch universe. I have opinions. I do voice them. I'm never a nasty person. I would never intentionally go out of my way to hurt anybody, but I also can't sit there and shut my mouth when something that's really obvious to me kind of just is allowed to carry on without anybody calling it out. So yeah, I'm probably going to have a drink there because I haven't shut up for Christ knows how long. My kids and my wife often turn around and say to me, doesn't your jaw hurt? Because you just don't stop using it. Right. Okay. I am trying to work up here a bit. That's part of my problem. Sometimes I don't take enough. But that's normally if chat's very quiet. Right, sometimes you don't talk. I'm guessing you meant to say talking enough. Yeah, no, I get you. Chat does go very quiet. And here's the thing, right? And I'm not saying that I've got the perfect answer for it. I often do a little bit of research, and did some research before I started streaming, right? And I kind of watched a lot of people's VODs, after they'd finished, right? And I've sat there and they've said nothing pretty much the whole time. Like absolutely nothing. And I sat there and I thought to myself, I didn't think to myself just there and then. So I went on to the next one and the next one and the next one. And then I suddenly realised that I was going to the next one all the time because they'd never said anything. Because on a VOD, you don't care if somebody's talking to themselves. They're actually talking. They're actually out there bearing their soul or their opinions, rightly or wrongly, whether you agree or disagree. But you're actually saying something. So, like, this may sound rude to some people in here, but I actually care about people that don't get to watch me live, as well as the people that do get to watch me live. Because those people can only go off of what I do when they watch my VODs back. And historically, my VODs have usually done very well, even in different countries. People say, and I do say this first of all, right? I don't see it myself, but people say that I have a very nice voice, a very relaxing and calming demeanour, and I'm funny. You know, I don't see any of those things personally, but let's face it, who sees the good in themselves except for a narcissist? I'm not saying that all people that see good in themselves are narcissists, by the way. I'm just saying that's the general rule of thumb. Just for the record, I know I'm awesome. That's why I put it on my bio. It was funny when that girl on Carl's stream, I don't know what her name was, unfortunately, and she said, I love his bio. He said, look, I'm basically awesome. That's why I did it. I don't think I'm awesome. I just do things for a laugh. You know, making somebody smile is probably one of the biggest gifts I've ever had, and I use it as much as possible. Oh, looks like somebody needs to put a 50p in the meter because he's gone quiet. Actually, I've got to be honest, one of the reasons I've gone so quiet is it's bloody hot in my room. That there, we'll go up to the top here. It's nice and chill here. It's a good vibe. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's not something that I create. It's not something I go out of my way to make sure that it is. It's just how I am, and it's just as it is. You know, there are some days where I just sit there and I'm like struggling to talk, struggling to say something. And you'll know those days because I'm constantly sitting there saying, oh, sorry, it's a bit quiet this morning. I'll probably tell you that I'm not feeling too good, or I'll just make up some kind of excuse as to why I'm not talking and whatever. And that's because I'm just forcing myself to come on and to do something. Because what's the alternative? I'm literally just going to sit back and do nothing in the bedroom and sit and feel sorry for myself, looking at how bad my life's got. You know, and what good does that do anybody? I'm also the guy that will actually turn around and say to you, you know, if today's not the day, don't worry. Don't push yourself too hard. Because today's not the day. Just make sure that tomorrow is. We love a chill stream. Yeah. You know, everybody puts so much pressure on themselves these days. It's all about pressure. Like when I was seeing mental health nurses and stuff, they would come round on every Wednesday and they would turn around and say to me, right, come on, let's get you up and out of bed. Let's go and have a little wash. Let's just go and do this. And I'm telling them, I'm too tired to get out of bed. I'm exhausted. I am absolutely exhausted. Oh yeah, well, let's go and splash some cold water in your face and you'll feel a lot better. And I was like, I've literally gone and sat. I have a disabled shower, right? I've literally sat in an ice cold shower with my eyes closed because I can't keep them open because I'm that tired. I don't have the energy to do anything. And you're trying to cheerlead me to get out of bed. And in the end, I turned around and said to her, that's exactly what I said. I said, please don't think I'm being rude, but I don't need you to cheerlead me to get out of bed because I don't want to be in this bed. Oh yeah, cold water fix it. Yeah, of course he does. I said, I don't need you to come around here and cheerlead me to get out of this bed. I'm not depressed. I'm not in this room because I want to be. And you are not listening to what I'm telling you. I am in this room right now because I do not have the energy, inclination, or uh, the muscle power, brain capacity to be able to get out of bed because I am so tired. And then they kicked me off the mental health program, and they turned around and said, "Oh, well, it's obviously a medical condition. There's nothing wrong with you mentally. We'll have to leave it to your doctors." Now, I'm not saying I don't have mental health issues, because yeah, of course I've got faults going on. I haven't had the best childhood in the world. Not gonna lie, I think I've told most people, but I try not to do it too much because, you know, makes it sound like I'm trying to get people to feel sorry for me, and I'm not. I just want to be better. But yeah, that's kind of the treatment I got from mental health. And what was funny is that I regressed into my bedroom years ago, right? Just after I had my vagus nerve attack, and I was on citalopram tablets, 30 milligrams. They changed my life depression wise and whatever else, right? And then all of a sudden this happened, and I was then put on mirtazapine tablets, 40 milligrams it was. And those mirtazapine tablets, I took them, and I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything, but I also couldn't sleep. Like, the insomnia was terrible. And I kept on telling everybody, I said, it's my tablets. I feel drugged. I feel awful, right? No one would listen to me. In the end, before the mental health nurses actually pushed me off, I begged for a psychiatrist to come and see me. And he did. And he walked in my bedroom, and then I was having a panic attack while he was there. And I kind of shuffled down in my bed a bit. I used my pop-it thing that I had at the time. And I started to breathe. I'd breathe in, and then I'd make almost a whistling kind of face with my lips to push the air out slowly. And the reason I was doing that is because I've done enough research to understand how to activate the parasympathetic nerve. At this point,
you look a bit parched. Why don't you take a drink?
Mr. Offspring, how you doing? At this point, I feel like I'm probably more qualified than most of the mental health nurses out there, to tell you the truth. And this guy took one look at me, and she turned around and said to him, "Look, this is what we've had to deal with." And he looked at her and he kind of whispered it, but obviously I could still hear it. And he said, "The man knows what he's doing. He's having a panic attack. He's literally just trying to breathe properly to bring on his parasympathetic nerve." And he actually said those words. And then whilst he was there, he said, "We need to get him off the mirtazapine tablets, and we need to put him on something else." And then they put me on escitalopram tablets at that point, which I take, I think it's 15 mils every day now. And within a week, I was up and out of bed. Who knew, right? Who knew that I could have been right for all of those years, that it was my tablets doing it? Not that I'm bitter, of course. Not that I'm annoyed over that, of course. You know, heaven forbid. But, yeah. I feel like I've really ranted now. I'm so sorry, everyone. I don't even know if I can put this on YouTube now. I'm going to, but, you know, I expect 0 views. It is what it is, I guess. Right, it's a 6 there. Right, let's do that little bit down here, I think. Yeah, 3s and 2s. Yeah, I suppose what I'm saying is that it's difficult for any of us that suffer with any kind of conditions and whatever else. I'm no different to anybody else. I just think that maybe sometimes the medical profession and whatever else should change some of their policies. Like I'm also the type of person that can see it from both sides of the fence. You know, you think a mental health nurse goes and sees somebody with anxiety and depression, and they're doing the usual archetype behavior, which is conducive with somebody with depression. And then they have to push them out of bed, and they're going to get pushback from them, and they have to just push. But they never seem to see that this person may not be suffering with that. It could be something else. A lot of nurses just don't have the right training, and if what they know doesn't fit, then they really don't. Yeah, I was literally just trying to start saying that myself, honestly. Yeah. Back once I got kiddos from school. No worries, buddy. I'll catch you in a bit. Offspring. Let me give you a shout. Actually, there's loads of people in here now that I should be shouting out. Now I've lost my thing. Raspberry, egg, random. Do you know what? We're just gonna do everybody because, like, why not? I think that's all that's come up on my stream deck. So yeah, there's shout outs for everybody because I often forget to do that because I'm too busy just waffling crap for hours. I was doing number 2 next one, but yeah, it's a strange one, but most of all, just try and treat every day as a gift as much as possible. Because it's like I've always turned around and said, and everybody knows I've said this, 5 million people didn't get the luxury of waking up this morning. You did. So try and do something to appreciate the fact that you're here. And never give up. You know, that's one of the biggest things. Never give up. Because it's not going to be forever. Because none of us are here forever. That was a bit deep and meaningful. Right, let's do a couple of little 13s there because I want to go there, do that, and that there. But yeah, if you guys ever wanted to catch my YouTube channel to see any of my previous paint by numbers, or in fact any of my previous gaming and stuff, my name's MarkBuddy143 on there as well. The links are in the description of my About Me page. There we go. Yeah, feel free to check them out. Feel free to leave a subscribe and maybe a like or a comment. You know, and also above anything else, right? What I'm actually looking for is constructive critique, right? Because I'm not ignorant enough to think that I know all of the right answers and I'm perfect, right? And I would love to know what it is that you may think that I may or may not be doing right or wrong, because I'd love to be able to adapt things so I can actually get better. But I learnt last night when I was editing a video that I leave a lot of blank spaces in here where I'm not actually doing anything but talking, or I've gone and got a drink or something and I've left those bits in there, and I've realised now that that's not a good thing to do, so I need to just stop